my dear, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to sew a bodycon dress with strap, guys. I'm so excited to share this with you, and I'm very sure that you're going to be excited as I am watching and making one of your own. So guys, let's get into it. So I'll be working with this fabric. This is a lycra fabric. It's extra stretchy. So I'll be working with this, and I'll be working with this cups as well, because I want it to have the cup so that there won't be a need of wearing any other garments in it. So all you need to do is go ahead, take your measurement, and let's get ready. Once you have all your measurements ready, the next thing we are going to do is to go ahead and start cutting the fabric. Now, the first thing we are going to use now is the widest of the measurement. That's what you are going to be working with. So for mine, my hip circumference is 46, and once I divide my 46 by 4, I'll be having 11 and a half. So I'll be using that 11 and a half to place my fabric on fold. Like I said, the fabric I'm working with is very stretchy. So that's why I'm using my measurement direct. Now, once I'm done folding, the next thing is you go ahead, connect your line so that you have a starting point here where each fabric connects with each other. Okay, so this is going to be my starting point. Now, the next thing I'm going to do now is to start working with my measurement. The first measurement we are working with is the back measurement. Remember, I said it's going to be an off-shoulder bodycon dress. So my back measurement is 15 divided by 2, we have 7.5. From that 7.5, we go ahead and subtract 1.5 because the off-shoulder covers the chest area. And I'll be having 6 inches. So here, I'll go ahead and measure my 6 inches, and this is what I have. Now, the next thing now is we want to go ahead and place the other measurement. For my bodies, I use to get my bust line, that is the basic bust line, I'm going to be working with 8 inches. 8 inches. Now, because this is going to be off shoulder, you want to go ahead and determine how off you want the shoulder to be. It can be from the range of 4 to 6 inches. Anyone you work with is okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and subtract 4.5. So it simply means from my 8 inches that I used for my armpit, normal, I'll subtract 4.5, and at the end of the day, I'll be left with 3.5, and this is it here. Okay, so you can slightly, there are some things I won't be doing so obvious here because I'm working with a marker. Now, once that is done, on that point now, you can go ahead and extend the line. That is where you are going to be bringing your bust circumference. Now, my bust circumference is 40 inches divided by 4, I have 10. So I'll just measure the 10 directly. Remember, I said no seam allowances. My waistline now, I'm going to go ahead. My half length is whatever your half length is, don't forget to always subtract that 4.5. Now, for me now, my half length measurement is 16. So I'm going to subtract that 4.5 from my 16. This is what I do. I just bring that 4.5 to this line. Okay, then I'll just mark that 16-inch point. This is it here now. So at that 16-inch point, I'll place my tape and measure my waist circumference. My waist circumference is 32, and 32 divided by 4, we have 8. I'll slightly go ahead and measure the 8. This is my 8 inch now. Remember, I said no seam allowance, okay? So from that waist level, I'm going to go ahead and measure my waist to hip, which is 8 inches. I'll slightly mark it. Please, I'm not doing it too much because I'm working on with the marker. Now, the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring my hip measurement here, which my hip measurement divided by 4 is 11.5. So I'll go ahead and measure my 11.5 here as well. And this is what I have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect each point. Remember, this is here. This is the bust point, this is the waist point, and this is the hip point now. So let's go ahead. So it's because this one is extra stretchy, especially beginners. So please and please. So now this is my waist shape, my side shaping now. Now you can go ahead and slightly shape your armhole as well of the dress. I'll be working with length 50, then I'll add 2 inches for my M allowance. So that means a total of 52 inches. So I'm just going to measure my 52 inches. I hope you can see it. So at that point where I have my 52 inches now, the next thing is you want to remember I removed 4.5 from it. Everything that has to do with your vertical measurement, always remember to remove your 4.5 from it. If you do not remove it, you actually be cutting your dress longer than where it ought to be. So the 4.5 inches is where you want the dress to start because it's an off shoulder, okay? So now once that is done, you want to go ahead and determine if you want it to be a straight bodice, if you want it to be penciled or anything, so you go ahead and do that. So mine, since my hip circumference is 11.5, I'll be subtracting 1.5 and whatever I have, I'll place it at the end. So that means I'm having 10 inches. So I'll place the 10 inches on my head, okay? I'll place it on my hem. So now, and I'll go ahead and connect from the hip now to my waist knee level. So right now you may not see what we are doing. So let's just go ahead and cut it out now. Now at the end of the day, this is what I have now. So I'm going to use this same piece now to cut out the back. This is what I have. This is simply the front bodice now. You can see the neckline. So if you want yours to be a little shaped at the neckline, you can go ahead, just shape it. Let's say you want something like a sweetheart neckline. Go ahead and shape it this way. And this is what you will be having. So now let's go ahead and cut the back body. So just go ahead, place it on the fabric and you use it to cut the back body. Now this is it. I have the back cut out now. Note that it is cut on the straight line, not curved at as the front is. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to set aside the front, and this is the back. Now if you look at the design we have, you'll notice that it has loop at the back for the closing up of the back. So what I'm simply going to do is this now. I'm going to create a little opening at the back. So depending on how low you want yours to be, you can go ahead and work with the half length measurement, which mine, remember we removed 4.5 and my half length now is 16. So now this is the half length point. This is the 16, sorry, 16. So you can go ahead now, depending on how open you want this one to be. If you want it to open like let's say 4 or 5 inches, you connect it and you simply connect it on a slant to this point. So now depending on if you want it to be total open back, you can go ahead and connect it to this point here now. I hope you understand. So it depends strictly on how much opening you want your back to have. So now I'm going to maintain this 5. I don't want mine to be as open as the side. So this is what I'll do now. But I'm still going to maintain the waist level, which is 16 inches. So this is what I'll be doing. I'll connect this way. And once that is done, I'll go ahead and I'll cut it out. This is the back note. So in this case, there won't be a need for any zip at my back. So automatically it means this is where I'll be fixing my loops and everything that if you want yours to be curved, you can follow any dimension that you want it to be. Now I'll put it aside. Put your fabric on fold. That's the one you have left. You place it on fold. Now once that is done, you want to go ahead and pick the front bodice now, which is this. You are simply going to go ahead and maintain your half length. Just go ahead and maintain this half length. So I'm going to go ahead, match this up totally this way, and I'll maintain this length. So this is what I'll do. I'll start cutting from here. Okay, so this is it. So I'll go ahead, fold this over, and this is it. So I'm cutting it out to that point. Now, this is simply the part that I'll be holding the cups for my bra. So now let's go ahead and remove this now. So as you do that, don't forget, go ahead and cut your strap too. Mine here, I have 65 inches, so I have three pieces of it because this will be serving as my loop and the strap for the dress. So this is all you need. So let's go ahead now and start sewing. Now, the first thing we want to do now is to work with each piece individually. The first piece we are going to be working with now is the front. So this is what we do. You pick up your bra cup now, this way, mark half inch here by 3.5. This is it. I'm going to turn it this way because this is it. This is the inside and this is the outside. I want the seam to be in. So I'm going to turn it out. I'll match up this point here, bring it here. Then I'll measure half inch. I'll sew half inch by length 3.5 and I'll stop there. I'll do the same thing for both cups. So once you sew it, this is what you have. You can go ahead and slightly trim it off. So this is it, so that it's not too bulky and all that. So this is the second one. So you slightly go ahead and trim it off. So yes, this is the right side and this is the wrong side. Now, the right side is meant to face the skin, right? And the wrong side is meant to face the bodies. So it simply means my right side, the right side of my fabric now is facing the table, is the one I'm placing on the table. The right of the day now, the cup is meant to come this way because this is the side that is facing the body where the bust is meant to come in. Now, what you simply go ahead and do is now, you want to go ahead, slightly stitch this part together, okay? So that the moment it's stitched together, come down a little bit so that it will be easier. This is it. You want to go ahead, do this way. Go ahead and sew this part together. Just run a stitch on it to hold it together so that by the time we go ahead, it will be easier for us to hold it here on the fabric. So let's go ahead and get that done. And once you are done sewing, this is what you should have at the end of the day. You can see what I have here. I just stitched it down. So it will be easier for us now to go ahead and sew it on this part easily. Now, this is what we are simply going to do. We want to go ahead and sew here all the way through the cuff here so that it holds the cup permanently and it is going to enable the bust to sit inside it easily. So this is what I'm simply going to do. You can go ahead and open this up so that by the time you sew and this one comes in, it comes in perfectly. At the end of the day, this is what we want to have so that this can sit inside it very well. Then automatically it makes it easy for for it to cup the bust easily. So this is what we do. We go ahead and pin it down. Please do this gently. Now, this is it now. So what we go ahead and do is we sew here all the way here. Then you come here and sew here all the way. You can also use your needle and thread to just hold it in place. So let's go ahead and get that done now. So once you are done sewing, this is what you should have. You can go ahead now and remove the pins. This is what I have now. So now the next thing is going to be we want to go ahead now and sew it with the main fabric now, which is the front. Now this is it. Now it simply means this now will be coming to this. Now remember, this is still going to have a strap that will be sewing it with. So it simply means I won't be going ahead to turn it. I won't be doing that. I'll just go ahead and sew it together. I'll just sew it together. Just stop stitching. So once you are done, this is what you should have now. This is it. You can see the bust here already. This is the inside and this is everything. So I top stitch the side two together. So the next thing we are going to do now is to go ahead and work with the back. So now for the back, I'm going to make my back wider a bit, which is to cut it down a little bit more so that it can really fit into the design I want to actually make. Now this is it. So I'm going to blend it perfectly. Now this is it. Now one thing we simply know is that this is the armhole point here. Now this is the armhole point which is going to join the side. Okay. Now once that is done, now the next thing we are going to do is to mark the point where I'll be putting the loop. So I will advise you that you place your fabric on folds this way so it is easier for you to do. So this is what we do. The first loop will be at half inch here. This is it here. The next one will be 2 inches. This is it. The next one 2 inches. This is it. The next one two. This is it. The next one two as well. So this is so that all your loops are well placed together. And the next one 2 inches. And this is it right here. So now this is all the points where I'm placing my loop now has been marked. So now the next thing we are going to do is sew the loop. You are also going to go ahead sew the side. Remember we made the back wider, so you are going to still match up this point to this point now and sew half inch all the way. Half inch is enough as your seam allowance. So and let's go ahead and sew this loop too. So now I've sealed the sides together. Remember, we cut through the upper part, so it's just the sides in match up together, and this is the little I have left. Now I've also gone ahead and I've fixed my loops. So I just turned it, placing the fabric on each other this way. This was what I did. So this, you can see the left over here. So I just turn it this way, and I stitched it together all the way, and I cut it. So each loop, the length is 2 inches. So and I cut it. Now for this strap, I did with 1.5 by the length. The length I have here is 65. So and this is it. Now mine took 6 on each side. Now the next thing I'll be doing now is to go ahead. Once I'm done with this, we want to go ahead and sew in the strap. So for the strap, I'm going to simply go ahead, start from the armhole. This is the front armhole shaping. So I'll match up the right side, facing right side, and I will sew it all the way to the back, all the way to this point, all the way to this point, and all the way to the loop that I have joined here, all the way back to this point. So let me do that and show you guys how it looks. So once I'm done, at the end of the day, you can see what we have. So this is the excess strap I have. I'm going to cut it off. This is the excess. I'll cut it off. So at the end of the day, this is what I have at the side here. This is the front. This is the front all the way to the back. You can see I slightly connected this place here because I don't want it to be too pointy. And this is the second side. This is what I have as well. Now let me now show you the back. Now this is the back. This is what I have here. This is it. Now the next thing we are going to do now is to simply go ahead and fold this. You want to fold it in this way and you top stitch it. You want to fold it in and you stitch it together. So at the end of the day, this is what you will have. At this point too, you want to do the same thing too and top stitch it so that it also help you to hold this part very well. So guys, let's go ahead and get that done. I hope you understand. You want to go ahead now. Each after you sew in the strap, look at the base here where we cut the shape from. You can see how it looks here. So I curve it perfectly. So this is it. Now the next thing we are going to do, I've sewn the first strap all the way. So the next thing we are doing now is to fold this all the way this way, bring it this way, top stitch it so that it neatens that point perfectly, and this is what you should have at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and get that done. So at the end of the day, once you are done, This is what you should have, guys. This is what I have. You can see this is the inside, this is the outside. Now let me show you what I did here. At this part here, I couldn't turn it out like this way, so I had to use it to turn this place in, because if you decide to do it this way, you reduce the width of the strap. So this was what I did. I just press it all the way, and the moment I got to this place, I adjusted it. I know by the time you are doing yours, you are going to find a way around it. So now, once this is done, the last thing we are going to do is to sew the last long strap we have. Now, this is the last long strap that we have. Now, this one is going to be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to match up the edge this way. And once I do so, I'll arrange it slightly in order to get the midpoint now. So now this is the midpoint. So at this midpoint, I'm just going to notch it up and down, up and down. This is one part. I'll notch it. And I've notched the midpoint of the last strap we'll be working with. So now once that is done, I'm going to connect it. I'll match it up with the center of my dress. That's the neck point, that's the center. I'll connect it with this. This one will be a little bit tricky because it is this one, this last one, that will also serve as the strap for the loops we already created at the back. So what we are going to do is, you want to match up the notch point with the notch midpoint of the neck. This is how you get it. Just slightly connect this together and notch the point. Now, once that is done, this is it now. I'll get the midpoint of this point too. Now, this is it, and I'll connect the two together. So I'll sew from here to this point, and I'll go ahead and also sew from here now to this point. So let's go ahead and do that. So now, once you sew it, this is what you should have. You can see the neckline now. This is what I have. Now, the next thing which I said is going to be the tricky thing is that we want to go ahead now. When you are doing this, please, you have to be careful. Now, you are going to start from the tip. Fold this in, fold this way, bring this way, and match it up together. So just go slow and steady, and you take your time. So you are going to do so all the way here. Remember, this one is just a strap. It has no body. So by the time you get here, automatically it's just going to fix in, because this one you'll be using the, just as we did for the armhole. That's why how we are going to finish it, from this neck point to the other point here. But from the strap that we have left, you want to go ahead, fold in the tip of your fabric, fold this in this way, fold this in also this way, and you place it on each other like this, and you go ahead and you sew it all the way. Okay, so you sew it all the way, making sure that it is well arranged, guys. You want to make sure that it is well arranged. So you go ahead, do this way, and you keep sewing all the way, just match it all the way to this point. The moment you get to this point, it's going to be another dimension whereby you'll be just folding this, using this as a guideline already, and you sew it all the way to the other end. So guys, this is the last thing. Once you are done, you can go ahead, bend the hem of your dress, and let's see how it looks. At the end of the day, guys, this is the strap, you can see. So you will notice that the edge is well closed now. So this is why I have, this is the front, as you can see, and this is the strap all the way. So now by the time you wear it, this is what you do. You pass the strap through this loop. It's just going to be a cross. You pass it through the first one, and you go ahead. This is how it's going to be. You are passing it through this first one. That's the one coming from this side. Pass it through the first one. Then the one coming from this side, you bring it towards this one here. So you are switching it. So, and you are going to keep going. So once you pass it through the first one, you just keep switching it over, just as the normal way you keep till the last one, and that's it. So guys, this is the back of the dress now. This is the back. I hope you can see how it looks. This is the back, you can see, and here is the front. So I hope you enjoy watching the video, guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.